Hi, everybody, and welcome to the special edition of the Bob Show here on KYCA 1490 AM and 103.5 FM. I'm your host, Bob Recker, here on the Bob Show, and we've got a really special treat for you today that we just put together yesterday.
Yes, we did.
And it's such a delight to have Eden and Amy Fillingham.
Yes.
I got it right. Yay.
So happy, Bob.
From the Prescott Police Department. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for having us back.
You betcha. It's been a while.
Yes, almost a year.
Yeah, been a long time, and I don't know if you guys we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over my shoulder here at the other camera, and you can see Eden. She's laying here on the table because she is a. What's her official title?
She is the Prescott Police Department Facility Canine.
Facility Canine.
Yes.
And we're going to get into what a facility canine does. And I'm just, before I forget, before we talk about facility canine and what they do, I want to put the telephone number out. So if you've got any questions, you can call, because we're going to be talking about an event that's going to be taking place in September. And we want everybody to understand what's going on there and where it's going to be and all those kinds of things. So if you've got any questions, now's a good time to go ahead and call in and ask, what's a facility? What do dogs like this do? And if you stay tuned, you're going to find out. Anyway, phone number here is area code 928 541 1016. So give us a call if you got any questions. And I'm going to turn it over to Amy a little bit here, and let's talk about what Eden does as a facility dog at the Prescott Police Department.
Wonderful. So thank you again, Bob. Eden, as you can tell, she's doing one of the things she does best, and she's taking a little nap right now. I do apologize. But Eden is the first facility canine embedded within Prescott Police Department. She came on board 2021. She was 9 months of age at that time. She just celebrated her third birthday, May of this year.
Wow.
And Eden is a standard golden doodle. And from the time she was 6 weeks old until she was 9 months old, Eden went and lived with her trainer, Dog Trainer US out of Peoria, and was trained how to detect certain symptomologies that are associated with trauma. So specifically, Eden can detect cortisol and adrenaline variances when they exceed what a normal level should be from a human, and she works to help mitigate that response. So to kind of break that down a little bit more, if you experience a traumatic event, it could be something that you witness. You could witness a horrific car accident. Maybe you're downtown Prescott enjoying a nice evening and you come out and heaven forbid there's a fight in the middle of the street. In that moment when your body kind of goes and you kind of go into shock, like you're trying to figure out what's going on, your brain and your body are starting to react simultaneously. And are they going to put you in, is your brain needing to get you out of danger? Are you going to turn around and run away? Are you going to engage with the situation?
Fight or flight.
Correct. Or are you going to freeze like a deer in headlights and just kind of watch everything unfold, even though you know it's probably not the safest place for you to be? Same thing happens in trauma. If you experience trauma, domestic violence, assault, sexual abuse, your body is engaging in the exact same way. So Eden can actually smell when that cortisol starts getting too high in your brain. Cortisol is a stress hormone that's part of the fight, flight, or freeze response. And when that is happening, your adrenal glands are kicking out a bunch of adrenaline because you're preparing to fight, flight, or freeze. And even when you freeze, your body's still still producing a lot of adrenaline. So Eden can detect those things, and she works with victims to help calm them, to provide them comfort and support during recalling of events if something does happen and law enforcement's involved, and you have to talk to a detective or a police officer. Eden can be present to help give you comfort while you're having to discuss those events that you've witnessed or been affected by. And the same thing happens all the way in the courtroom if it does go through the criminal justice process.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit here. I should say that Amy is a senior victim advocate.
Yes, sir.
And you're a civilian.
I am.
You're not part of the Prescott Police Department. You are, but you're a civilian.
Correct.
Working so everybody understands what your role is there.
Yes, sir.
And when somebody says, "Oh, when I think of a police dog, I think of somebody's going to, gnaw off somebody's arm or, put him down,
Yes.
until the cops show up to make a arrest because this violent person's involved or whatever."
Right, right.
This is kind of the opposite side of that, and the importance of it is it can't be overstressed.
Correct.
There's a need for Eden in our whole justice system.
Absolutely.
And I want you to talk a little bit about what Eden's role is, for example, in a setting, in a court setting.
Certainly. So Eden, I'm going to brag a little bit if I can, Bob.
Absolutely.
Eden, when we first brought her on board and we were trying to get the word out about her, because Eden is 100% funded through community donations. So we were, kind of hitting the street saying, hey, we have this new dog. We really need the citizens to help support this program. And nobody really knew what this program was about. It's the first time in our county that we've had a full-time law enforcement embedded dog in this capacity. That is not to take anything away from the volunteers that work tirelessly with their therapy dogs to be present in schools and courtrooms, as well as hospitals and senior care facilities.
Right.
But Eden is the first one that's actually employed. And when the county attorney's office found out about us, we received a phone call right away saying, hey, we would really like to partner with you. And through the blessing of Chief Amy Bonney, who our community owes a huge deal of gratitude to Amy, because she is the reason why we have Eden for our citizens. And so we now have partnered with the county attorney's office, and Eden has already sat on over a half a dozen trials involving children who have to testify against the individual that committed whatever crime that was. As much as I hate to say it, that crime is usually some sort of a sexual assault or sexual molest act on that child. And Eden provides comfort to these children when they have to go through this ordeal. It's not scary enough to be sitting in a courtroom with a judge, a bailiff, a court clerk, 14 members of a jury, the prosecuting attorney, the case manager, the defense attorney, the public, their family, the defendant's family. You've got a whole room full of strangers, and this child has to sit in the center of attention, if you will, and recount all of the atrocities that occurred to him or her. And it's heart-wrenching to hear, and it's heartbreaking to know that their life has been forever changed. But with the help of Eden can be at the feet of that child during their testimony, and that child can either tuck their feet up underneath Eden, feeling her heartbeat, feeling the warmth of her fur, or they could put their feet on top of her. And one of the things that we have been told each time is when the child becomes upset or is having a hard time getting through testimony, Eden will curl around their feet, providing compression therapy as best as she can. Unfortunately, she can't be seen by the jury. But
I was just going to tell you about the process now. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good. No. This is
I'm
perfect.
Sorry. So, and then once the child is done testifying, we bring the child and Eden off the stand, out of the presence of the jury, and then they can go in and have time with just Eden. A lot of times, the family and Eden and the victim will all be in a private room together where they can just cry on her, hug her, hold her, play with her ears, play with her feet, whatever brings them comfort during that time. She's quite remarkable. She's such a blessing. And to date, We have Eden has helped secure 137. I'm going to go with 137. It's either 134 or 137 years of prison and incarceration time for these offenders. And she just at the first of this year helped to achieve a life sentence for an individual who was terrible to children.
Yeah. So he's where he belongs.
He's where he belongs. He will not see the daylight of
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
It is a very good thing.
All right. We've got break now. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a break because we're going to get into a number of other issues before the bottom of the hour. So
Okay.
let's take a break right now. We'll be right back. And we're back here on the Bob Show. We're talking to Amy Fillingham.
Yes.
Works for the Prescott Police Department as a senior victim advocate.
Yes, sir.
And she has this wonderful partner
Yes.
called Eden.
Yes,
And
thank you.
Eden is currently, and I think you can see if you're on a podcast, laying on the table, having a break. She's been having a break since the show started.
Yes, sir. Well, she got to meet what is the name of the other dog here?
Dixie.
Dixie. I wanted to say Daisy May.
Yeah.
Dixie May.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they had some sniffs, and that was very exciting. So
Yes,
now
that
she's tired, you know.
And she had to do her business.
She had to do her business.
She took care of all that.
Exactly.
And here she is taking a break. And, that's what we all should do.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody should have a
Have
siesta.
a snack and have a nap. One of the things that happens in a community our size, and I include Prescott Valley,
Mm-hmm.
I include Chino Valley, and the Dewey Humboldt area,
Yes.
Mayor,
Yes.
all the way out Portage Junction.
Absolutely.
That there's a cooperation level in our communities that may not exist in other places. And I want to just have you touch briefly on how that affects your program with dogs like Eden. And Eden also has a couple of cousins that are now employed by different departments.
Yes, absolutely. So huge shout out and thanks to those who have come forward to support not only Eden, but Benny and Cooper, the Prescott Police Department's two drug canines, they're Labradors. And for example, Olson's Grain here in Prescott donates a bag of food every month to Eden. And it's the good stuff. Just gotta put it. It's the caviar of dog food, so it's not like the old Roy brand. And thanks to them, now I have to purchase that same caviar level dog food for my own personal two dogs.
Oh,
at
see,
home.
there's
So-
a downside.
Sandy from Paws and Claws, Auntie Sandy, shout out and props to her. She and one of her vendors that she uses provides Benny and Cooper with their raw diet at no charge. And anybody who has a dog or a pet on a raw diet knows that is quite costly. But Sandy went to bat to make sure that the police canines were taken care of. Um, every time Eden goes in, because we do use Sandy's facility for dog washes, if it's between her normal bathing schedule, we she is gracious, usually doting on Eden, and provides her with some really nutritious, high-end, healthy snack that Eden falls in love with. And then I have to go to the coffers of Eden's fund to find out if we can continue to keep her on the champagne and caviar diet. But we appreciate it when we do see Sandy. There are so many that have come forward. A private donor, right when we got started, a private donor donated a 2015 Ford Explorer Sport for Eden, so she could be transported safely to and from events, scenes, wherever she's called and needed. These were all things that we didn't have funds for. We didn't have an opportunity to do. Most of the time, if we have to go to the vet, they try to provide the superior. They don't try to. They provide the superior service, but they really go the extra mile to help take care of our dogs and to do well by them. And everyone that we encounter, there's generosity of repeat donors. Wink, wink, not going to mention any names here, but repeat donors, citizens that are just so kind and gracious that make sure, even if it's $25, that's $25 that goes into the dog's accounts. Eden has her own account. Benny and Cooper have their own account, so the money doesn't get switched. If you have a love for Super Coop, we love Cooper, and you really want to donate something special to him, that's where the money goes. So they really do. This community is, I call Prescott the dog-friendly capital of the United States of America. I mean,
it's got to be close.
It's got to be close.
If it isn't.
Yeah, I've never seen the outreach and the support, and it seems like whenever we run low and have a need, the community always comes through, and it's such a blessing, and we are so very grateful. So very grateful.
Well, it's all just part of the program. It's the way the program started, and it continues like that. And what's wrong doing it that way? That's
right.
It's a good way to do it.
Exactly.
So, folks, the next time you hear Steve Shishka's voice on this radio station, you can call him up and thank him.
Please thank him.
Olson's Grain is partly owned, I think.
Yes.
By Steve and Kathy, and
yes.
Their generosity is to be commended.
And that's not limited to just Eden. Any of the law enforcement dogs, whether it's a bite dog, a drug dog, a bomb dog, we've got dogs in all kinds of capacities in our county, and that is extended very graciously towards any of the law enforcement community canines.
These dogs can be trained to do incredible things.
Oh, such incredible things.
And it's so important, because it takes away some of the guessing on the part of the humans that are involved.
Yes.
When the dog spots, what do you call it? Marks.
Alerts.
That something is there, because the dog's going to do what the dog's trained to do.
Exactly.
And you can take it from there, from
right.
what your behavior is as a human being as to what's going on.
Well, and
so it creates a safety net.
It does. It truly does. And I have to tell you that on more than one occasion, Eden has alerted when we weren't necessarily working. Eden, at one point in time, I'm going to leave this very vague, but over the last about year, we were at a local school, and we were there doing some introductions, and there happened to be a fundraiser, and one of the gifts was to have Eden come to the students' school to hang out, and we were at one of the local schools, and Eden, we were done in the room that we were in, but we were hitting the rest of the classrooms on that hallway before we left for the day. And we went into one classroom, and Eden went right over and sat right down next to this young student who really wasn't engaging with her. And I called her back, and she took 2 steps, turned around, sat right back down, and then proceeded to do something that's called touch. And so she's trying to put her paw on the student's leg, and the student just kind of ignored her and just, and I thought, oh, maybe this student has a fear of dogs. And I called her back and I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, honey. I hope you're not afraid of her. She's a good girl. And the student just kind of was very quiet. And she went back a final time before we left, and I went to that teacher and I said,
You need to ask some questions.
absolutely. And that student came forward and was being abused by a step parent.
Yep.
And Eden knew. Eden knew. So she's done this on more than one occasion. She knows. And as heartbreaking as it is, we were able to intervene and start getting services for that family, and come around and provide that wraparound support for that child who is getting a hard lesson in life that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
They
should
shouldn't
never
be
happen
getting.
to anybody.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, our dog can sit.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you, mine at home can eat cookies. That's all my two at home can do. We were so hoping that some of her training would rub off on them. Hasn't happened yet.
Uh-oh. Now I've been bugging her. I've been petting her,
No.
so she's
She's
starting to move
fine.
around a little bit.
She's absolutely fine.
If there was ever a dog that you just feel like you want to touch, it's Eden.
I know. She's like a 50-pound weighted blanket of love and squishies and warmth.
Teddy berry kind
Yes.
of.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Oh my gosh. I'm just trying to think of other than she's the normal dog. Other than that, though, right? I mean, when
Correct. Yeah, when we show, so Eden is allowed to work up to 12 hours consecutively. After 12 hours, she has to have a 12-hour break. So if we have put in a 10-hour shift at work, then we have to allow her a reset time before, even if we get a phone call. I may not be able to assist with her during that time, depending on how much time she put in during work. So 12 hours max on, we work a 10-hour day, and then 12-hour break. When we go home, this collar comes off, this vest comes off, and let me tell you, she's a 3-year-old puppy.
Okay, so she knows as soon as that happens. Okay.
Oh yeah, I get to be a dog now. And I ask nothing of her. I ask nothing of her. I ask her to just be a dog. And I have 2 others at home. My husband and I have 3 total. He still is wondering how that happened because we were only supposed to have 1. But they're like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just 1. So I asked my husband recently if we could get another one, and he looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears.
Well, Dixie May,
Dixie
who
May.
hangs around the KYCA studios here, when she sees a car, she sits down.
See, that's wonderful.
And so, and she's been trained too at a
Yes.
certain point, but
Yes.
not like Eden.
No.
Eden is a professional.
She is a professional. She's got that detection down to a science.
Absolutely. All right, we're just heading to the bottom of the hour, so stick with us. We're going to talk about a program that's coming up that you might be interested in attending. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Bob Show here on KYCA. We have Amy Fillingham
Yes,
with
sir.
us. I'm starting to get
You're
it.
getting Woohoo!
And she's a senior victim advocate that works for the Prescott Police Department. And we've got Eden, our comfort dog here, and she's not called a comfort dog. She's called a facility dog. Facility dog with the Prescott Police Department. And I'm petting her right now. Her head's on the table, and it's kind of like, do you really have to do this? 'Cause I'm sitting here. I'm not in my normal thing,
Oh,
and so
she is quite
she's
happy.
good. I got a question from somebody who
Yes.
sent me an email on my email.
Okay.
All right. Do certain breeds have this extra sense and not others, or can any be trained?
So it is my understanding all dogs, the olfactory in a dog's snout, their senses, and I don't know the exact number. We'll just use easy round numbers. Humans have 100,000. Dogs have 1,000,000. Their ability to detect smells and odors is off the charts, which is why we've always seen dogs used for, in ballistics training, bomb dogs, drug dogs, these dogs that have the ability to detect cortisol, adrenaline. There are dogs that can now detect cancer, for those of you who don't know. And I am going to put out there that that's one dog I don't ever want to meet, or
Yeah.
I don't ever want to come say hello to me first.
Right.
There are dogs that can detect specific electronics. DPS has an electronics dog that has been trained to detect very specific electronics. There are no breeds that I am aware of, and I'm not a dog expert by any means, but there are no breeds that have a better or less sense. It's all about their demeanor and disposition. So you have a golden doodle like Eden, who is half of a golden retriever, half of a poodle. Poodles are one of the world's oldest hunting breed dogs that are out there. So she's already got this keen sense for smell because she's a hunting dog.
Okay.
Golden retrievers are usually in the top 2 or 3 of the most popular dog in America. Golden
Sure.
retrievers, Labradors, because of their disposition, their demeanors. They're good working dogs, but they're great family dogs. So any type of dog, any dog breed out there or combination thereof can be trained. I have been to a formal training where agencies had gone to the Humane Society and picked out a dog that had the sweetest temperament and then trained them to engage as Eden does. So it doesn't, any dog can be trained
Well,
to
that's
do these
interesting.
things. Yeah. But they always look for the dogs that have the sweetest temperament.
Has Eden ever tried to bite somebody?
Other than her dog dish, no,
I
sir.
get-
No, I can't even say that. She is the most gentle. I could place her favorite treat is turkey jerky, and I could place that on the tip of her tongue, and she would be very gentle in taking it. But no, Eden is not aggressive. She does get a little mouthy with other dogs, especially if she's in her vehicle driving around and she sees dogs at the courthouse square, and she's gonna have a little chitty chat with them.
Yeah.
Because she's nice and safe in her car. So
I've got to tell a quick story.
yes,
It reminds
please,
me.
please.
Wendy and I are walking around down on the square one day, and here comes a dog.
Uh-huh.
Looks just like Eden. And I go, Wendy, I said, there's Eden. And she goes, you think? We're looking and looking. And as the dog approached and we're coming there, I stopped the lady and I said, excuse me, is that Eden? And she said, yes, it is. And I said, oh, and I started petting her, messing around with her and everything.
Right.
And I said, I didn't know this person. I can't remember her name now.
Right.
But I said, oh, and she said, yes, I work for the police department. And she says, and I walk her around the square because it seems like when I walk her, she poops.
That does not surprise me. That
And
does
it's
not.
good. We want her to poop.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
she
we
says,
always want her to
So I
poop.
walk around the square, and that's,
And then
that's
she
fine.
does her business.
And she was just happy as could be to be doing it,
Yes,
because
yes.
everybody, this dog, I don't know how you don't like this dog.
Yeah.
I mean, here you are with
Yeah.
a paw in your hand now.
Yeah.
and
She knows I'm a little nervous being
I
here
get-
today. She's like, Mom, you're kicking out some adrenaline. You're starting to sweat.
Yeah, well, you're not nervous,
No.
But this is
Yeah.
this is a dog. By the way, if you want a picture of
Yes.
Eden,
Yes.
you can pick one up, probably over at the Prescott Police
Yes.
Department.
Yes.
You can come by KYCA. There's a couple laying on the counter over here.
Yes.
Pick one up, and you can stick these on your water
Water
bottle. You've been
bottles.
talking about water bottles or
Yeah,
whatever.
the Stanleys are really popular right now, and I'm starting to see Edens on Stanleys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
putting all the young. God, I can't believe I'm going to say the young folks.
And while I've got it on my mind,
Yes.
if you wanted to, if you're watching the show and you're thinking, wow, this is really something, and you wanted to participate and make a donation or something,
Yes.
how would you do that?
You can go to the police station. We take checks, cash. We can take money orders. We can take credit cards now. We have a swipey thing that we can do
Oh, okay.
donations with in that capacity. If you'd like to mail a check to the Prescott Police Department, the address would be 222 South Marina Street. And that's Prescott, Arizona 86301. Please, please, please just make a note in the memo line. Either if it's for Eden, please put Eden's Fund. If you would like to donate to Benny or Cooper, please write there both of their names or either of their names. But we're usually out and about doing different engagements. So if you ever see Eden walking around with her vest on, we can certainly take something in hand anytime we're out doing any public.
So if you see a vest like the one she's wearing now, it says facility dog.
Yes.
The public is invited to actually address
Yes.
or go up to this dog, and I almost said
Please.
person.
Yes.
Up to this dog.
Well,
and pet them, because
Yes.
the dogs that gnaw your arms off, you're not supposed to be messing with them.
Correct. And they're not going to be walking around the square.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Unless they're working.
Just kind of looking
Yeah,
around, going,
yeah.
"Hey, you want to pet somebody? Pet me."
Exactly. And Eden, even though I am Eden's handler, there are a couple of other of my colleagues that will offer to walk her for me if I'm tied up with a victim and she's got to go do her business. It's really hard to walk away from working with someone when they're in the middle
sure.
of tears or struggling. But when she's got to go, she's got to go.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you could see me. You could see anyone walking her from the Prescott Police Department, but she's very easy to approach.
Do you ever go out to a victim, like in where there's been some problem in their home?
So we made a decision early on. I used to before Eden came on board, and we made a decision early on that unfortunately most humans are not clean people. Most houses are not kept as well as maybe they could be, and the risk of Eden stepping on something or being
never thought of
exposed
that,
to
yeah.
being exposed to, heaven forbid, if there's an assault and maybe there's some blood, we don't want to expose Eden to that. So we keep her exclusively at the station. If we come in, she can meet with the victims or the family at the station.
Yeah, so there's a way, if there's a victim, that person can get to and in the police department itself,
Yes.
and be taken care of there,
Yes.
away from everybody or
Everybody
whatever.
else,
So
absolutely. We
take
have
care of-
something called a soft room, and
Okay.
it's really a nice, soothing room. Big old couch, nice oversized chairs, and it's meant to not be a sterile environment like what you would see on TV whenever you watch
Yeah,
the cop shows
yeah.
and they're
Yeah,
interrogating
the metal
somebody in
desks and the- yeah.
some small room. And so Eden can get on the couch with the person, and they can just hold her.
Oh, that's good to
or
know.
If
I
they're
had no idea. Yeah.
more comfortable in
Yeah.
the chair, whatever the victim wants, we try to accommodate.
And while we're on break, and we're going to take another one here in a minute, but while we're on break, I was asking about what food she gets, and
Yes.
she gets Pure Vita. It's called Pure Vita, and the particular kind she gets is salmon and peas.
Entree. Salmon and
entree.
entree.
It's an entree, and it's kind of expensive, but
Yeah.
it's good stuff.
It's
and you can get it at Olson's,
Olson's.
and you probably can get it at Paws and Claws.
Yes,
And-
I just haven't, but yes, I think you can.
could. right, but Olson's the one that I think of when you go to dog
Exactly.
food. So,
Exactly.
all right, well, let's go ahead and take another break right now. So we're going to get into what's being called the Canine Fun Fest right after this break. So stick
Yay.
with us. We'll be right back. And welcome. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Bob Show here on KYCA special program today. And we're talking to Amy Fillingim from she's a senior victim advocate at the Prescott Police Department, and Eden's laying here right with us the whole show. She's been very calm and very supportive of the show, people, the humans on the show.
Yes.
Because yes, we need support.
Yes.
And
Bob cry.
we were talking before when I called you yesterday, and you're gracious enough to come in today.
Oh, thank you.
We were talking about an event that you're getting ready to put on called the K9 Fun Fest, and I want you to talk all about it and how the public can participate and what can happen with this event.
I'm so excited to talk about this. So, Ann Harrington is a member of our community and has a tremendous love for all animals in our town. And back a few years ago, Bob, Ann hosted or put on for us a Bowling with Eden event. And I don't know if any of your listeners out there remember the Bowling for Eden event that occurred in Prescott in 2021 to help get Eden's funds rolling and off the ground. So she's back at it again. And this time Ann has partnered with Espire Sports, which is the new facility up at the mall.
Right.
And she wanted to do something for all three of the dogs. So Benny, Cooper, and Eden are the recipients, and this is the a fundraising event for this year to help all three of the dogs to help get some money back into their accounts. You know, when you're looking at funding a dog, you're looking at more than just food. You're looking at vet bills, whether they're expected or unexpected, and any of the animal owners know when it's unexpected, it can be devastating financially. You know, Benny and Cooper, they need consistent training tools. They're narcotic detection dogs, so their needs are very specific and higher end in that capacity. Eden, you know, I mentioned she's got a champagne and caviar taste, but she still has needs every day. We have these, like you mentioned, these cute little Eden stickers that we use her funds to purchase these so we can give them out. She also has trading cards. You know, those things don't get replenished. We want to give back to the community. She also has a little plush, stuffed animal plush that has a collar that says Eden, and it looks just like the collar that Eden wears, and it's a replica of a golden doodle. And the children that she works with, we give them one of those. We sell them to the public. We ask for a $20 donation. It goes right back into her account. And then we also have Eden shirts, T-shirts that can be purchased as well. And there's a $20 donation. We ask for that. And that money goes right back in. So we try to use her funds in ways that we can give back to the community, but we're still replenishing her account, if you will. So this Fun Fest that's coming up, it's on September 28th. It starts at 5:30 p.m. and goes till 9 p.m.
Get out your calendars.
Get out your calendars.
We'll wait.
Tick tock, tick tock. And that's a Saturday, again, September 28th from 5:30 to 9 p.m. And what's super awesome about this is Espire Sports is shutting their doors down and allowing this event to occur. So it's going to have special pricing for entry. There's going to be pickleball, mini bowling, golf simulators, cornhole, ping pong, billiards, putting greens, basketball, volleyball, arcade games, shuffleboards. For adults, the entry fee is $50, and for children 12 and under, it's going to be $40, and that includes a delicious buffet and all of the activities I just read off to you. There's also a summer camp coach by the name gentleman by the name of Rick Horman, and he's doing a special kids program. So if you're between 8 and 14 years of age, I have been told Rick is the greatest camp coach on the planet, from what I've heard. He is amazing. Wow. And then when the kids get to interact with him, they have such a great time. Everyone is welcome. Please bring the whole family. Please know that entry fee, to get in, that ticketing fee is going to pay again for your buffet, all the activities. There will be a cash bar for any adults that are interested in partaking in that capacity. But the best part about this whole thing, you get to meet Benny. you get to meet Cooper, and you get to meet Eden. All 3 dogs in one setting. That's like priceless, right? Like that alone is worth the cost of admission.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't get any of the other amenities with it.
You get all 3 dogs.
all 3 dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
And East Spire Sports is up at the Gateway Mall, and we have a phone number and an email address. If you're looking to sponsor, donate, or for more information, there will be a raffle ticket and silent auctions with amazing gifts. And all of the fundraising that occurs, all the proceeds after the staff is taking care of the food bill is paid and all that good stuff, will go between all 3 of the dogs. So we're really hoping to make this a big event.
I hope that the pickleball players that go up there all the time will come on in at that point in time and make a donation. And
we hope so
and
too.
Get to meet these fabulous dogs.
Yeah,
so.
Eden might be sleeping.
He might, like she is. Now.
It's a Saturday.
All right, she'll be on the job?
She will be.
She'll be on the job.
She'll be on the job.
Even
We'll be
though
walking
Saturday,
around.
Yeah. Okay.
You can come and ask to get a touch from her. She'll hold your hand, or maybe we can convince her to give a hug or 2 out. It's one of her tasks as well.
We've been to one a long time ago over at Founding Fathers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she was hugging everybody. At that one. That's amazing.
I think we hugged her out on that one.
Yeah, probably. All right, we got one more break. So let's go ahead and take that. So if you got any questions, you got to squeeze them in real quick, and we'll be right back. And we're back here we're having a great time.
Having a great time.
Talking to Amy here from Prescott Police Department in Eden, and they were on when Eden was just a mere pup, back on the Bob Show a long time ago, really. Mm-hmm. And the things that this dog has provided to our community since then is quite an amazing thing.
Yes.
The time she spends in court.
Yes.
And the time she spends just talking to people that probably don't get to court,
right?
That come to the police department. Correct. And meet Eden.
Yes. I mean, we could be out at a restaurant and people want to engage.
Of course. That's a good question. Let me ask you that.
Yeah.
Let's say you and your husband go out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take Eden? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
So, yes and no. Yes. So, Eden, I try to make it a point when I'm heading home to head straight home to break her. Sometimes, if I've got something scheduled right after work, yes, my husband and I will have supper here in town, or maybe I'll meet a friend or a colleague from another, police department, and we'll have a bite to eat. And Eden is a little magnet. Everybody wants to talk to her. They want to touch her and
look at her.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite biased myself. So, she has. Oh, look at who put her head up for the camera, and her cheek is all smushed. Her fur on her cheek was all smushed. That's great.
And
oh yes.
Hiding under her ear is an American flag.
Yeah. Yes. It's a pink and white American flag because she's a little girl.
Okay.
Yes, I have her
So-
red, white,
so-
and blue one. So anyway,
so-
we're constantly educating the public, and when I tell you, we've go to conferences every single year. One of the conferences we attend annually is the Conference on Crimes Against Women in Dallas, Texas, and that helps to keep me abreast of best practices, any changes in law, federal laws that I need to know about.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very
Sure.
interesting, and it's chocked full of it's 4 days of amazing information. But walking through a conference, whether there's 50 people or 5,000 people, is like escorting Mickey Mouse through Disneyland. I cannot go but 2 steps without, oh, can we get a picture? And yes, please get a picture. Hug her, give her a scratch. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. She is now famous in the Philippines, from what I understand. There was
Oh,
a
really?
group of police officers and advocates from the Philippines that had come out when we were there in Dallas this past May.
That makes me think of a question.
Yes.
How many other police departments are you aware of that now are moving towards this kind of a dog. For
their
their
services.
departments?
So Glendale Police Department, their victim services unit, their family violence unit, has had a dog for a few years longer than Eden. His I just completely spaced on his name. He looks like Eden.
Yeah.
Scottsdale Police Department has Eden's brother, Captain, who is with the school resources officer out
Okay.
there. Another one of Eden's siblings, his name is Scooby. Scooby is located in San Francisco, and
Oh.
he's doing this type of work. He's not law enforcement embedded, but he's still amazing. And his handler is incredibly gracious, and we swap stories so we can keep the siblings in contact with each
Sure.
other. But Chino Valley Police Department, I'm still hoping that they're going to start their program up. Prescott Valley Police Department, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Like I said, Prescott PD is the only one at this time. I'm hoping YCSO will get on board, and I'm absolutely available to help anyone who has questions in that capacity. But right now in Yavapai County, Eden is the only one.
Does the sheriff's department interface with Eden?
They don't use us for call outs, but some of the cases that we've sat on where Eden's comforted these victims during testimony have been county cases, yes.
Because I know the sheriff with the new facility over the juvenile.
Yes.
You know, they try to keep people who maybe shouldn't be in jail
Right.
from being in jail.
Right.
And it just sounds to me like there might be a connection there for them to have assistance with.
I think that would be incredibly impactful and beneficial for them. But it's about resources. And, unfortunately, right now, our nation has seen a turn of not supporting law enforcement the way it maybe used to. And I think we work very hard every day to rebalance out that bad apples in every single profession. Doesn't
course.
matter where you are, but when you're in the spotlight, you're in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So I know that's had a lot to do with recruiting and growing agencies, and you need a body to handle a dog. So
Yep. So now, if somebody was specifically, we got about 30 seconds
Okay.
left. They can just call the police department and
Yes.
ask for you,
yes, please.
and then you can direct whatever we need to do to get things moving in the right direction for that
Absolutely.
particular person.
Absolutely.
So just call the Prescott Police
Police
Department and
Department.
go from there.
928-777-1988 and just ask for victim services. We do have a direct line, which is 928-777-1936. And if myself or my partner advocate, Dawn, is not available, you'll get our voicemail.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for coming in. We
Thank
really
you, Bob.
appreciate your
Oh,
time. It was
appreciate
great.
you
Yep,
so
you
much.
bet.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you next time on The Bob Show.